Yeah, I'm going to drop it here. So see this. So I have the discount, unit price, shipping cost, and profit, and all the related measures that I have here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all this and go here and then click on unpivot columns. Okay. You see this. What's happening is, so I have discount, unit price, shipping price, and cost, profit, and the uh, uh, quantity and sales. Okay, all this information from here to here, right? Say discount to sales, it's put into one record. If you see on the left hand side, these records, this information is going to be duplicated. Okay, because so if you see this, the product based margin is 0.54 for everything, and that's how it's going to be. When you do this, make sure that you unpivot the columns as appropriate. Okay, so now while if I have any errors that's going to happen here, and if I wanted to have a particular field, uh, to select or maybe to filter out, this is going to be something similar to Excel, but you should load more here. That's very good to see. It's only one of the country here, but if you wanted to change something, on any of the product container and so on. So there are quite a few options that are available here. The replace values. Okay, whether you want to replace any of the specific values, or replace errors with zeros or kind of a thing. And then I can group by as well. So if you say group by, there's going to be product containers and then count or whatsoever that you wanted. And there's going to be a grouping column, and maybe you could delete that, etc. That's going to be super helpful. I would want you to try this out. The grouping itself is like one, and it takes around hour or hour and a half to explain that in detail with a lot of examples. Okay, so in case you don't remove duplicates, so this is what you use on the data. But assuming that this data is done, okay, I would say close and load to, and simply add this to the data model, create only test connection and load. Right here is where you get to see these orders, and there's a query. And if you see this, the example, okay, let me check this out. Let me show it to you. Sample. See this, if you see the size of it, okay. If you see this, the power query is just 600 KB. I mean, in KB doesn't really make sense. Okay, and this has the data, and this 9912. But however, it doesn't really capture the entire information, but it can produce information that we wanted. Okay, so this is going to be lesser in size. So see this data catalog. So this is going to be kind of an Office 365, where you can sign in, and then you can simply right click and publish this kind of a data sources here. So if you hover on this, okay, what it's going to give you is, you need not open this every time to see what it is. On once you hover, it is going to give you the specific set of all the columns that you have, and this may not give you all the rows. So this is going to be sample data on top of this. And if you see this, there's going to be the list of columns that we have. Okay, if I go to the customer name, and it's going to give me that customer name, it's going to get highlighted. And if it is going to attribute, this is where it's going to get updated, kind of a thing. So it's going to be last refresh time, and load settings, load to the data model is what we have, and the data source settings is the C drive, and so on. So since I don't have a network drive to show you, I'm putting this in the C drive. But like I said earlier, you should be using the full path of it. Okay, there is a view and worksheet. We're going to do that, and there's going to be edit where I edit this thing. There's an ellipsis. Let's try to do this. Send to data catalog, load to, duplicate, preference, merge, append, and then properties, kind of a thing. Okay, so it's going to be quite easy. When we say try to duplicate it, see what happens. So in one of the query, it's exactly the same. I don't want to do this. So I'm going to unpivot columns. See what happens. Okay, so it's going to give me those specific values, right? And this is going to give me all the unit price and all the details. I'm not going to save this in this tab. Okay, so you could simply even copy this here. It's almost going to be the same thing. And if you have multiple queries here, you can move the order and you can also do the blueprint. Okay, so like I said, you can see this in the connections. Okay, the query orders. This is where you get to see in the connections here and the models as well. Okay, so once this is in, okay, what I can do is I can load to, okay, or I can simply say insert, maybe I could connect to the data. So Visual Data Visualizer. Now I have this. Let's try to get this in. That's it. So that's not coming in. Okay, maybe. Okay, so let's try to get the recommended charts for this. Okay, let's try to get the. So I have this data now. So with the set of data that I've selected, I mean this is known thing to you. You know what it's going to be, how it's going to be actually. So here, if you see this, or with the tree, so you see this, it is going to give me a simple drag and drop, and one value. In the other cases, I need to just drag and drop everything onto the columns, and that's going to create a stack of it. Okay. Otherwise, I could even do this, the same way, like the typical discount, whatever. If you want to do a quick analysis, so this kind of an data analysis is going to be easy for us. If you were to do the same thing, using the full data set, how do I do it? Let's say insert pivot, okay, and then drag and drop the order priority here. That works fine. And if you were to do the discount, discount unit here, there's going to be some of discount. I'm going to change that to the whatsoever, and there's going to be unit price. So each and everything I need to drag and drop here. So in the old format. Now here, if I were to do any analysis here, there's going to be an attribute. That's it done. I have an attribute. I have everything, right? So even if you wanted to select few of these things, I could simply go ahead and then select the selector and select the multiple things. Just wanted to see this, right? I would only show the S and then come to the columns. I would only see this. And I don't want to see the grand total. Remove grand total. Done. And I would want to show this discount as an average. I'm pretty much sure that you can how do we represent this information. Okay, so field settings, automatic. Okay, because it's coming from this. Maybe we need to get that thing specified. So it's going to give me the percentage of it automatically. So this is how the the benefit of having the for query and so on. So there's a people graph and there's a big maps. If you try to if you have an old data with specific to countries, the regions, and so on. So this map is going to be like really useful. Okay, and I'd be able to enable or disable the add-ins simply by doing it using the com add-ins and then selecting or deselecting this. Okay, so that's the Power query that I would want to show it in a Power Pivot and the query editor for you, and that's the ones. And if you were to create manage KPIs, okay, there are no measures or KPIs on this, so that's why you got to say this. And if you have a new measure, you can write simply a formulas onto it, and there are other set of things, like kind of a calculation of the field elements, and this is where it's going to be helpful. Okay, so with this, I would like to take a pause and see if you have any questions or maybe want to do any kind of an exercises on the VBS or Access or Excel. That's something that I wanted to hear from you.
Nothing's coming to mind.
So sorry, I could hardly hear you.
I said nothing's coming to mind.
Okay, nothing's come to mind. Okay, gotcha. All right, so that's pretty much I have. Maybe I can do a quick recap and then we can close this down. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, cool. So just give me 2 minutes. I'll get some water and then
Sure.